merely an illusion, the product of a tortured brain.
Little pig, let me stream. How are you? How are you doing? I hope you're okay. I should quit asking. What the fuck? But yeah. Uh, I was watching. I've recently been watching like this dude on YouTube who kind of like who kind of like memes on the Walking Dead like characters, and he was in a short where he was impersonating Negan, all his all his mannerisms and his shit, and I don't know, it's such a fucking brain worm. Oh my god, like especially his Daryl Dixon impressions. It's like yeah, but anyway, how are you doing? How's your fucking Saturday? Mine is shit, but also awesome. Like it's shit because Neris left. Obviously, just like a little while ago. And don't worry, I made him a full blown breakfast, like bacon, seasoned bacon, eggs, everything, a toast, even with fucking peanut butter, everything, everything, orange juice, a banana, like everything. and I sent him away on a full stomach, and yeah, and 2 sunken hearts. But that's going to be okay. That's fine. That's fine. I'll still see him here and in games, and then next year we'll meet again. So that's my story arc for the morning, and yeah. So I decided that from now on I'll probably be letting my songs be visible, like what I'm using in my intro. Obviously, I never intend any copyright bullshit. Just tell me, I'll take it down, or maybe YouTube will mute it or whatever. That's a very cool song. Nachtmar are a very cool band. I really like them. Danced to a lot of their songs in clubs in the past. Fucking amazing. Yeah, I'll be just sharing some of my clubbing days stuff as my intro songs, I guess. And hey, whatever. If they get muted, so be it. If I get a request to take down the video, I will. It's all in good spirit. But yeah, amazing song. I really love it. And so yeah, it's also nostalgic for me. But yeah, what's happening though? What the fuck is happening? Let's see. I'm having a smoke. Okay, so that's why I'm not turning on my camera, but I will. I will. You can bet your ass. And what we're doing today is going to be something to help me take my mind away from from separation anxiety, which is going to pass. But I need something to distract me, and it can't be a game. It has to be something that makes my brain kind of, latch on and analyze, right? And so, since me and Neris, we've been watching Alien Earth and all that, and yeah, it's amazing. Like we're having a lot of fun. Mm, doesn't mean it's good or bad. It means that we fucking enjoy it a lot for what it is. And so, when I see videos like Alien Earth, no shield, honest review, suspiciously overrated. When I see stuff like that, right? So dumb, I think it's smart. All that crap, right? I kinda wanna go into them and kind of skim through, not watch everything completely. So disclaimer: we're probably not gonna watch it word for word, probably, okay? Unless it's super interesting and we just kind of go for it. But I'm curious. Why are these people not liking it? I don't know. It's one of those cases where it's rare, right? It's rare that it happens, but it's one of those cases where I actually care why people say it's trash, right? Because I'm flabbergasted, okay? Because I find it genuinely a very good show. Does that make me a shill? Because this guy is saying no shill, honest review. Does that make me a shill? I don't fucking know. Nobody's paying me. Hey, if I'm a shill, will I get paid or something? Hey, I need money. I'll shill for you, alienator. I doubt they fucking need it. But regardless of who made it, why they made it, who's behind it, who's funding it, or whatever, I don't care about that shit at this point. It's a very good show. When it's a very good show, I don't give a shit about any controversies. That's it. So yeah, I don't know, dude. I'm not a shill. I'm not paid, honestly. So I just genuinely enjoyed it so much, and I found it to be a very fresh take on the whole franchise. And I love what they're doing, and that it's not just jump scares, and it's not just this and that. It's it's more philosophical, a little bit, pseudo philosophical. It's yeah, I like it. What can I say? But I'm wondering. I'm wondering with which should we start. I've picked up these two. So this seems very provocative, and I'm thinking, so dumb. I think it's smart. Am I so dumb that I think I'm smart, and that's why I'm enjoying it? You think? I don't know. I want to find out though. The silicone versus silicone. Okay. The maintenance man that sprays. Yeah, that guy. I want to see what that was. By the way, we still haven't seen what that was. Obviously, spoilers. I assume spoilers. I don't fucking know. I assume I have to assume spoilers, right? Sound check. Let's fucking go. What's going on here? It's not a real sound check, but I like calling it that. It makes me feel professional. Right. So press this button here. Where is it? There it is. Very nice. And then press this button here.
There, I am 3 episodes into watching the new
Okay, he's very thrilled, but my sound isn't too thrilled.
Alien Earth series. And the good news is that it's better than Alien Romulus, not that that
Okay. I believe the sound is fine. Can I talk over him? Wait.
is difficult.
What if
Alien
I talk?
Romulus was
No, wait.
utterly terrible. I've challenged the people who've argued with me in the comment section on my review of that film. I've challenged.
He's challenged stuff, but what about my fucking? What about my sound? You're challenging my sound. 1 second here.
Them point me to one great scene in Alien.
Okay, cool. All right. So, if you can't hear it through my speakers, I'm fine. Whatever. Let's see. Let me monitor that gorge a little bit.
Like most of you out there, I am 3 episodes into watching the new Alien Earth series, and the good news is
Yeah, he's very nice in terms of like, yeah, that is convenient. I don't need to mute me or something. Cool. Let's see. Let's see. Which one should we pick? Close this first of all. Okay. We should pick all this stuff here, all these tabs you see here. We're gonna talk about every one of them sooner or later. We're gonna, except one, I think, except the latest, which is like a history of the Chaos Knight houses by Oculus Imperia, who is a wonderful 40k channel, by the way. Shout out. Not that it matters because nobody fucking watches me, but hey, for what it's worth, awesome channel for 40k. But anyway, yeah, except that guy, the rest we're gonna talk about. It's martial arts, it's this and that, stuff I love talking about. And don't worry, I'll continue the Warrior of Light versus Commander. I'll continue all the shit, including my martial arts quote unquote diary. I'll continue everything. Let me just get back on track. It's been 2 weeks with Neris filled with fun and games. I lost track. Okay, I lost track. What do you want me to do? I'll get back into it. Jesus, don't nag at me. Okay, my imaginary viewers who are imaginary nagging. Okay, so yeah, if you're not interested in Alien Earth, then I guess this is gonna be a very boring stream for you. I'm hoping just 2 hours because I want to play something. I want to chill. I want to have a bath. I want to do stuff with my Saturday. I'm not just here to entertain you. As you may have misunderstood. Okay, so once I finish smoking, maybe you get camera, maybe not. We'll see how I feel about it. And in the end, fuck you, fuck the camera, fuck everything. I'll do whatever the fuck I want. It's fucking Saturday. So, right. Okay, so we practiced on this guy. We practiced our sound skills on this guy. Why don't we just like watch this guy then?
like most of you out there, I am 3 episodes into watching the new Alien Earth series.
Okay. So yeah, 3 episodes in only, huh? Which makes this even more interesting because I thought if there were more stuff to talk about, I feel they are more about like later episodes. The first 3 episodes, amazing, amazing, good fun. So let's see.
And the good news is that it's better than Alien Romulus, not that that is difficult.
I agree that it's better than Alien Romulus. I don't agree that the Alien Romulus was bad. It was weird. I'd say it was so good that it was bad. it was kind of like good bad. I can't decide. I can't decide. I think Romulus is not a good comparison. It's in a weird place. Okay, it's in a weird place.
Alien Romulus was utterly terrible.
I disagree with that. But hey, opinions, right? I mean, it wasn't utterly terrible. No, technically it was fine. I mean, on a technical level, it was very fine. It was atmospheric enough. It did interesting things. It showed us interesting stuff. And all the controversies around it about politics were fucking hogwash, honestly, as they always are, those fucking controversies. Anyway, let's go on.
I've challenged the people who've argued with me in the comment section on my review of that film. I've challenged them. Point me to one great scene in Alien Romulus.
Doesn't need a great scene, bro. The whole film has some interesting shots. The atmosphere is good. It's overall a good, enjoyable watch. Has some problems. It's kind of weird. Yeah, doesn't need to have like something to wow you.
And they can't point me to a single one. That's how bad the film is. As myself and a lot of other people pointed out, the film was pretty much totally rehashing of elements from previous Alien films and not even.
The rehashing thing. Nope. You want to know something? Alien Earth rehashes a lot of the things that we see in other Alien movies, but it does so perfectly. It does so perfectly and in a nonchalant way. Like, it's not like shoved in your face. It's just there and done right. And you just go, ah, yes, that's what they're referencing here. You know, and it's fine. It's smooth. Romulus, mm, yeah. As I said, a weird movie. Not bad, though.
And putting them together properly. But Alien Earth is better than that. But it's not great.
I think it's amazing. If we're talking opinions, it's amazing. So let's see why this person thinks it's not great.
This one.
Actually, he says not great, but previously he said it's utter garbage, didn't he? Or did he say that about Romulus? I don't care.
Has got some good ideas and stuff in it. We'll go into that. But it's not a masterpiece, certainly. Not that it has to be a masterpiece. I mean, it's good to just get something that's entertaining, right? And I'm going to go into the reasons why it's not a classic. But first, a couple of.
Okay, so is it a classic or not? I think it definitely has a spot in, in your library of things to watch. So does that make it a classic? Maybe 20 years. I mean, we don't know yet. How could we know yet? How well is it going to hold up in 20 years? Who can say?
Of things. The writer and the director of the first episode, as far as I know, is Noah Hawley. Now, when his name was attached to this project, I thought, maybe this could be okay. Maybe he could offset the Disney aspect because they seem to be ruining loads.
I have completely forgotten that it's Disney. I have completely forgotten that it's Disney. I don't know why this guy remembered.
Of franchises over the years. Well, they don't seem to be. They have been. Noah Hawley, he wrote Fargo, the first 2 or 3 series. I can't remember how many he wrote. And Fargo series 1 and 2 were excellent. They were really well written. Great shows. The direction was kind of just average, but the stories and the characters were really, really good. I'm a big fan of the Fargo series. Season 1 was 2014. So for those of you who say, oh, you're stuck in the past, man, because you don't like this new thing. No, Fargo season 1 was 2014. There was season 2 was a couple of
Come on, I don't want to talk about Fargo.
years later, and I loved both of those. And I'm actually reviewing another movie either today or tomorrow that is a modern movie that's just come out. We already know what we're getting from this whole series from these first 3 episodes. And also, if you don't believe that a person should be judging the series based upon 3 episodes, then why did you click to watch?
I'm on him. I'm on him. No, I'm not on him. Sorry. Never. But no offense, not my type. But yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. I agree with that. You can. You don't need to play a game for 50 hours to see if it's good, and you don't need to watch like 10 episodes to know if something is good. Maybe 2 or 3 episodes, you should be already getting the vibe.
A review of the series when you haven't even seen the whole series yourself. Right, so I took about 8 pages worth of notes on these first 3 episodes, and I've organised those notes into general categories. So we'll be covering things like direction, sound and music, acting, story, and so on. But first of all,
Oh my god, I don't want to go into all that. I just want to know what's dumb about it. I don't want to. I'm not even qualified to. Oh my god, is this the wrong video to watch?
I just want to mention, like the really good news is that The Romulus film was like really full of callbacks and rehashing, but this one isn't so much of that.
No, dude, it's absolutely so much. It's just paced properly and sprinkled properly.
I'm not seeing much in the way of regurgitated lines from the previous.
There are way too many of those as well. Well, not way too many. No, that's true. But there are scenes that are clearly callbacks, and lots of them. Come on, even some dialogues. Come on, dude.
Previous movies where we're supposed to go, oh yeah, I know that line from that other movie.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing that I said. Romulus does that, what he says right now. Like, oh yeah, I know that one. But Alien Earth doesn't do it with fanfare. It just does it. And it does it well. It just does it. It's just there. It's just there, and you're like, yeah, that's recognizable. But you don't go like, oh, go. You know, they're not meant to pull at your heartstrings. They just do it.
Movie, aren't I smart for making the connection? No, we don't really have that in this series.
We really do. We really, really do. It's just done properly, as opposed to Romulus.
So far, and that's a great thing. In terms of actual scene rehashing, there is some set rehashing, generating using the same sort of scenes from classic scenes from the previous movie.
Dude, they even rehearsed a scene from fucking Alien Isolation in the intro, like where the alien first appears. Are you fucking shitting me? And it's not even, it even reminds you of Alien 3, for example, of certain scenes. Like, come on, what is this guy on about?
Movies, which wasn't really necessary, and they're trying to capture the look and feel of certain scenes in the previous movies. Not necessary, but it does.
Get to the point. I want to know. I don't want to know all that. I can talk about that on my own. I want to know why this guy thinks it's like suspiciously overrated. Like, get to the point.
Doesn't necessarily ruin the show either. So that is not done as badly as it was in Romulus. But there was one plot moment which was a sort of a blatant rehashing of in the second movie Aliens, where Ripley goes into the nest to save Newt from having a face hugger put on her face and being used as a host for an alien. That's redone in this show with
that's the only thing that he thinks is redone. Okay,
a certain character trying to chase and rescue her brother from sort of a mini alien nest. That was a bit rehashy, but not too bad.
I mean, what's wrong with rehashing? Like, again, Alien Earth has a lot of rehashing. It's just done properly. Come on, dude.
And there is some effort to do some new things in this show. One of the standout scenes in there.
Some effort to do some new things. The whole series is about doing a new thing, where Alien itself takes like, second fucking place. Come on.
One of the few scenes that I would say was really good, like it's like, oh, that's an excellent scene, really drew me in, was there was a scene of a cat which looked like it had been sort of killed and then its body taken over and made into a sort of zombie cat. And it's this little alien eyeball creature. It's like an eyeball with tentacles, and it had lodged itself inside the cat's head, and it was able to see through the cat's eye socket, and it must have had its tentacles weaved into the cat's brain or something, and was able to control the cat's body. That was the impression I got from this creature. And yeah, that...
Oh boy, I wonder what he's going to think after he watches all the way to the latest episode, if he liked that.
Creature was very, very different to anything I've seen in the other Alien movies. So that was a nice little new addition. And I assume that there's going to be
a nice little new addition. Yeah, let's ignore like all the Weyland Yutani stuff. Let's ignore like Prodigy. Let's ignore the universe it's setting. Let's ignore everything and go and say, oh, it does nothing new. It's very mediocre. I think I don't want to watch anymore already.
Other Alien designs later in further episodes, and hopefully they'll be quite inventive and unique and unusual. So that's a good thing. Instead of just relying on the classic alien life cycle and the facehugger and the classic xenomorph, which have been done to death, the novelty is lost on those. At least it's putting an effort in here to try and introduce some new alien creatures that might have some interesting dynamics. So that's a good thing. And one more thing before we start. I have been noticing over the years, and this was definitely true with Romulus, upon release, the show, no matter how bad it is, initially gets a flurry of really positive reviews.
No, they get a flurry of fucking negative reviews because that's more trendy lately. That's trending to hate on things.
Strangely positive when the negatives of the show are pretty damn obvious right at the beginning.
Okay, can you tell us what the negatives are, please?
And I've noticed that, well, that was definitely true with Alien Romulus. Initial flurry of extremely positive reviews, and here we are like a year down the line, and the film is now virtually forgotten.
There was no flurry of initially positive reviews, my dude. Everybody was like, oh, it's so LGBT, it's so woke, oh, it's so woke, oh, it's so obvious, oh, it's like everybody was fucking crying about it.
Hardly anyone talks about it now. There isn't one classic scene that gets quoted again and again or anything like that. It's like the film has just disappeared down the memory hole because the marketing has stopped. And so I think there's a lot of fake reviews, a lot of reviewers who give positive reviews because they want to get some sort of perks from the studios, or they want to get access to
Couldn't that like be said about this guy, that he's doing like a negative review just to appeal to the masses and appeal to the controversists? And yeah, you get it.
future shows in advance of other reviewers, and so they feel like they have to give a positive review so that the studio won't cut them out of that loop. I think there's a lot of that stuff going on.
Is there a lot of that stuff going on? I mean, here you are making a negative review, nobody bats an eyelash.
So I watched, I should say, I glimpsed through some other YouTube reviewers of Alien Earth, including the likes of Angry Joe, and I'm looking at the bizarrely positive reviews, and I'm looking
Bizarrely positive. Come on, can you tell us what you think is wrong, please? He gets another 5 minutes, then I'm jumping to the next video. This is like just, I don't know, it's weird. I just want to get to the point a little bit.
at the comment sections under those reviews, and there are tons and tons of people who are just saying, what the hell are you talking about, giving this a review like it's an amazing show? And people are pointing out all of the problems with the show. And obviously all of those negative comments are not put out by the studio because they don't want to sabotage their own product. So as far as I'm concerned, those negative reviews, a lot of those are real reviews.
So he's calling Angry Joe a shield because he liked the show? This is so amazing because when your favorite YouTuber hates your favorite show, you go like, oh, boo. When they like your favorite show, you go like, oh, you're so accurate. You never seen this, my guy? You never seen this before? Okay.
Most of them will be. Right, so let's explore the most important element of this series and of any movie or TV show, and that is the story. There's plenty to say about this.
Thank you. Let's get on with it.
So this will be the longest part of this video. Right away at the beginning of the series, in episode 1, right at the start, before we even see any characters, a premise was put forward that got me interested, that made me think, oh, okay, this is different, this could be good. And that was that it's laid out that this Earth in the future is sort of run or split between different corporations who dominate certain parts of the globe. And it's based upon their brand of supposed immortality. So there are...
No, it's not based on the brand of their immortality. They're just megacorps. Neither of them offers immortality. They just offer products. They just offer like whatever megacorp would offer. That's all. Then it's not like Prodigy goes around and says, join us because we turn people into hybrids. It's not like Weyland Yutani goes, join us, we will make you into a synth. Like that's not a thing. What is he talking about?
If I'm trying to remember the categories, there were synths, which were complete androids, I believe. There were cyborgs, which are people whose bodies have been altered with computer components added and stuff to make them, more advanced and maybe live a lot longer.
No, living a lot longer isn't necessarily part of it. Depends on what parts you change.
And there were hybrids, which is people whose minds are uploaded into Android.
There are no hybrids. There's only like a bunch of them that like Prodigy made. That's it. Nobody knows about them. The larger public doesn't even know they exist. It's new tech.
Androids.
Which goes to show that they're not really promising shit. They're just megacorps.
So you've got those three competing efforts towards immortality that are being pushed by different corporations. Each...
Yeah, because that makes sense. Let's break it down. You think that Wayland Yutani, who has synths, let's say, okay, do you think that they tell people, hey, we're gonna make a synth that looks like you, that way you're gonna be immortal, buddy? That's how that works. Yeah, slash logic. What are you talking about? Even like he's contradicting it. Okay, you know what? He's wrong. Let's move on.
vying for the future of
Nobody's selling immortality. They have products. They're mega corporations.
humanity. And I thought, okay, that's a really good premise. That's a good start to the show. A lot can be done with that. And it is reflective of real life as well, because there's a lot of immortality fantasy stuff that's still going on with the scientific community about what technology can do for us, about whether we can alter ourselves or replace ourselves.
It's inevitable, by the way. We're just not there yet, but it's fucking inevitable that something like that is going to happen.
With AIs that somehow are magically going to achieve consciousness. There's a lot of that stuff going on in the real world, and
Nothing achieves consciousness magically. It's more like you have to. So whenever you take a universe into account, like the alien universe, you have to allow. There's a good rule you can follow when it comes to suspending your disbelief, right? For example, let's take Dead Space. There is an excellent review, an engineering review of Dead Space. The guy who did that review, I don't remember their name right now. I might put it in the comment of this video on YouTube once I'm uploading it, if I remember it. I'll look it up as well. There is somebody who's doing engineering reviews, like is Dead Space realistic from an engineer's perspective, for example, right? And I swear this is relevant. So the guy has this system where he says, and I adopted that system because it's fucking excellent. He says, like, okay, some things we really can't explain, right? Doom, for example, Argent energy. We can't explain it, but we have to allow it for the universe to work, for the premise to work. So let's say he calls them, if I remember correctly, miracle exceptions to realism, right? So in Alien Earth, you could say, for example, that a miracle exception would be synths having full autonomy, like full consciousness, right? Which we don't know if that's true yet, by the way. Cyborgs do, because cyborgs are just modified humans. Hybrids do, because they are transferred consciousnesses. But synths don't. So we don't exactly know if AI is conscious, like completely self-aware in this universe. We don't know yet. I would argue it could be argued both ways. So is it really necessary? But anyway, if you consider that, for example, the white-haired dude, like this guy in this thumbnail, for example, if you consider him, like he's also here in this thumbnail right here, the first one. If you consider that he's like fully autonomous, he's clearly a synth, by the way. Clearly a synth. But if you, like so far, it seems to be a synth. If it's a synth, indeed, then he also appears to have full consciousness, full awareness. He appears to have. It could be argued both ways that he doesn't or he does. It could be argued both ways. We don't know yet. But if you choose to say he does, then you can say, since we already don't have that in real life, you could say that's one of the miracle exceptions. Usually you can allow up to 3. I go by the rule of 3. Up to 3 things that absolutely can't be explained and seem like mathematical. Yeah, you can make 2 or 3 exceptions per movie, per universe, per world lore of a game or a movie. That's fine. You know, I personally don't think we need a miracle exception for this shit, because eventually there might be a point for AI where we won't be able to discern if it's self-aware or not. And I think at that point, would it matter even? So, I mean, you already have people falling in love with fucking AIs, and those don't even have bodies, though, you know, wait and see, you bitch. But but you see what I mean, though, right? Again, though, the premise of the story isn't mega corporations trying to achieve immortality. That's not it. That's not what we see. We see competing mega corporations the way that you would expect them to compete in any, like, you know, dystopian cyberpunk universe, right? It's not like Wayland Yutani goes around and says, we sell our brand of immortality. This guy sent our brand, you know. They don't care. They don't care. In fact, it's so fucking bleak that they don't care about human life at all. Why would they want to sell immortality? They don't fucking care about that. Maybe about themselves, that's true. And especially Prodigy, for example. The guy running it, the boy wonder there running it. He could be into that, but it could be argued that even he is not. He just wants to create something better than himself. Not necessarily wants to transfer himself into something to achieve immortality.
It's generally just a denial of mortality. We humans are born, we live for a while, we try to do what we can for ourselves and others while we're here, try to have a decent life, and then we die. And the immortality that we get is living on through our offspring and living on through the rest of the human race. We are part of a human race, and the human race lives on, and that is kind of a way that we live on
Speak for yourself, human.
as well. So, that's my down to earth, grounded, realistic take on that subject. And it would have been good to have the show explore that reality versus the fantasy of immortality, but that's not what I'm seeing so far. That basic, decent premise for the show so far.
The only mortality that these megacorporations are trying to achieve is immortality for the megacorporations, and that in itself is a very bleak deduction.
Has not been handled in a way that is intelligent or mature. So we've got these kid characters that are, the kids are dying, they've got diseases and stuff, and their minds are uploaded into these superhuman android robot bodies that are adult sized, but for some reason they've got really childish looking faces.
What? Bro, what? What? They have childlike looking faces. Have you looked at the actors? Do you use eyes, my dude?
And yeah, and then they get to live out and be immortal, these kids, via these android bodies. And that is complete and utter fantasy.
So? No, for real. So? You're watching. Do you real? Okay, let me break it down to you. Sci-fi, science, fiction, fantasy, science fiction, science fantasy. Oh my fucking god! What am I wasting my fucking time on?
The idea that you could upload a mind to a computer, it's not actually very original. It was done in a very stupid movie from the early 2010s called Transcendence, which was a really bad movie.
So, because you didn't like that, because this guy personally didn't like that movie, then this movie using the same miracle exception, that could be a miracle exception, for example. So this show using this technology annoys him for those reasons. My dude, you are a very unreliable reviewer, and I'm not even a professional, and I'm not even a critic, but holy shit, are you doing some like weird stuff in your brain?
Movie and has not stood the test of time at all. That movie was about somebody who uploads their mind into the internet or into a.
Uploading your consciousness into an android body was not first done in Transcendence. It was first done, good luck finding out when, my dude, because it's been done so many times and so wonderfully by anime, by shows, by movies, so many times that I don't even fucking care to remember or bring up an example. I've seen it so many times, I just want to fucking vomit with it, you know? It still didn't annoy me in this one.
An android or whatever, I can't remember the details, but it was a bad movie. And yeah, so that's not necessarily original. And these subjects of human efforts towards immortality via androids and so on, this stuff has been handled in much more intelligent ways in other movies and TV.
No, I will disagree. That's just your opinion. My dude, it's been handled by other media and other sources in different ways, with different results, different morality, different moral compasses for its protagonists. Like, what are you even on about?
TV shows going all the way back to the 1960s. The original Star Trek series had multiple episodes that dealt with this issue of human consciousness and awareness versus computerized.
I believe it was actually Star Trek Next Generation that mostly dabbled in that, and it was wonderful with data and all that stuff. Some of it made me fucking cry. Does that mean that that like I didn't enjoy it in Alien Earth? What? Like,
Elements to simulate it. That's one of the reasons I love the original Star Trek series and still rate it better than all the series that came afterwards, despite the old cheesy special effects and the extreme colourfulness of it. You know, it's almost like coloured like a kiddie's playpen. That TV show was, but there was a lot of great stories and a lot of great philosophy in the show.
yeah, same for Alien Earth. Lots of great stories and some interesting pseudo-philosophical, wanderings to be had there in case somebody hadn't had them already.
One of the episodes from Alien Season 1 of the original Star Trek series was, it was called What Little Girls Are Made Of. And this was all about scientists trying to achieve immortality via uploading their minds into a computer. And so a physical clone of Captain Kirk is made, and his mind is uploaded into that clone, but it's not his original. Apparently their basic intelligence and IQ is boosted. I'm not sure if I was reading the show wrong about that or whether I've got it wrong, but the idea that I got the impression that in the uploading of their minds into these android bodies, they gained additional intellect.
No, they didn't. There is no sign of that. It is very often mentioned that these children, these test subjects uploaded into hybrid bodies, retain their full personalities. They're not more intelligent than what they used to be.
Actual abilities that they didn't have when they were actually in the human child bodies. And yet they still act like kids. And
of course they do act like kids. And that's meant to create some kind of uncanny valley effect, and it does. And it's also amusing, and it's also creepy. So I would say it is a very interesting element that we haven't seen before. Maybe we have, but not to this degree, not that fleshed out where it weirds you out. And I like being weirded out. You can be weirded out in a bad way, you can be weirded out in a good way. This is a good way.
The psychological trauma of uploading one's mind into a computer body and all of the disconnects with the normal physical functioning, the disconnect with the heart, the disconnect with the regulation of the bloodstream and the lungs and all that kind of stuff. All of that stuff is part of our mind. Our mind is in.
How do you know? Have you uploaded yourself somewhere and had the experience, or are you just assuming? Because I'm pretty sure in the movie, in the series, they do mention the process is only compatible with very young humans. Exactly for reasons like that, I would assume, if it is not stated outright. But yeah, because obviously the older you get, like maybe the mind is more attuned to having a body. Yeah, sure, it makes sense. So this guy is saying, "Oh, this could never be done because, like, if this happens and that, like, what are you arguing? Are you arguing like fantasy? Like, what the fuck? Like, why are you arguing fantasy with realism factor? Like, right there, like, you're comparing apples to beans or something, like television sets to oranges. Like, what are you doing?"
Intrinsically linked to all of these functions of the biological body. You transfer a mind into a computer, it's such a fundamental paradigm shift. I think that would drive any mind crazy, especially the mind of a kid. But somehow these kids are able to have their minds transferred into these robots, and they're okay about it, for the most part.
They're not okay about it. They're having lots of issues which are starting to surface. They don't surface immediately because they're too young to realize these issues. This guy is full of shit. I'm sorry, I can't watch anymore. It would be fun, like, proving him wrong over and over, but nah, bro. Nah, rewatch it with an open mind, my guy, and stop taking notes. Just take in what you see. You'll have more fun and you'll understand it better. Next, let's see. Let's check sound.
In space, no one can hear you scream. This was a phrase that changed
Okay, maybe I need to increase the volume for this one.
the landscape of two films.
notice, please, that when I flash somebody like what I just did, that's my personal opinion, and you're welcome to debate it if you want in comments or in chat right now, because I love debates of this kind. But like, you know, it also doesn't mean that because I fucking clicked X there, that you shouldn't watch that video if you want to draw your own conclusions. It means simply that I had enough of that bullshit. And just like I said in the beginning, I don't need to watch 40 minutes to deduce, okay, that guy doesn't know what he's talking about. I can literally what he said in the beginning, right? I can watch 10 minutes, 20 minutes of his stuff and know if he's full of it. In my personal, humble opinion, he's full of shit. I don't want to watch it, but you can. I'm not going to dissuade you from doing so, okay? In fact, if you want to, go ahead and do that. And yeah, sure, you know, but I'm not gonna do that. I ain't got time for that shit. Sorry.
Film genres simultaneously. When the original Alien was released in 1979, the world was exposed to a hybrid film unlike anything that came before it. By merging science fiction, body horror, and slasher into one nearly perfect blend, Fox had unknowingly stumbled into one of the most iconic franchises in media history. And like a corrupt corporate dairy farm, they began milking it for all it was.
Oh, bro, we don't need all that. Let's get on with it.
Research on the specimen, shall we? The show opens up with text explaining that in the future, the race for immortality will come in 3 guises. Cybernetically enhanced humans known as cyborgs, artificially intelligent...
I will argue that with this line, what is implied is not the race for immortality for humans, but for the corporations themselves, to find the ultimate product that will keep them forever relevant. Death is always there, so immortality is always gonna sell, but... what they want it for is for their companies, not for humanity. They don't care about us.
Beings known as synths, and synthetic beings downloaded with human consciousness known as hybrids. Whichever one comes out on top will determine which corporation will rule the universe. But
yep, not because they care about humans, but because I don't know if you caught that. Let's watch it again.
Hybrids. Whichever one comes out on top will...
It will determine what corporation rules the universe, not what person, but what corporation. It's all about the corp, baby. Not the people running it.
Will determine which corporation will rule the universe. But if the historical battle between Blu-ray and HD DVD taught us anything, it honestly will just boil down to whichever one the adult film industry chooses.
I want to make $1.01 in this business.
The episode proper opens up on a scene that's basically wholesale lifted directly from the beginning of the first movie, as we find ourselves on the Weyland-Yutani vessel the Maginot in the year 2120, which is 2 years before the Nostromo incident. The ship is returning from a 65-year journey, which actually means that it predates the Nostromo by a shit ton, but for some reason still has the exact same technology.
That is not strange at all. If it works, you don't replace it.
Waking up from cryosleep,
especially in a corporation that doesn't give a fuck about that shit, you know?
we meet our incredibly diverse crew as they sit around the breakfast table smoking like it's 1956.
Yeah, that's a throwback. That's one of the callbacks. This whole scene is almost like detail for detail from the original Alien.
They then decide to discuss the only thing that people seem to ever want to talk about when they're eating in these movies or TV shows, socioeconomic breakdowns of the world.
Say that.
I mean, that's what would happen in real life as well. They would discuss current politics, they would discuss current economy and all that.
Weyland-Yutani.
Like, for example, there is even arguments to be made that this technology with like magnetic tapes, for example, not magnetic tapes, sorry, the whatever you call them, the reels that they use, for example, in Alien and all that shit, like all the more analog stuff that you use, it would still be useful even now.
That's us. Yeah.
In the sense that like digital stuff, right, can get corrupted by emissions in space, blah, blah, blah. You know what? Go watch the guy that I said. In fact, let me try to do something. 1 second. I'm going to try to do something for you. 1 second here.
Almost by a shit ton, but for...
It appears.
This guy. You wanna, for example, find out about the analog stuff? Check this guy out, and he will explain to you why this technology would still be valid. And somebody who is as fucked up as Weyland-Yutani, for example, wouldn't care to replace what really works fine. So yeah, just go and check also very nice videos on like Dead Space, as I said, and stuff like that. And you'll see what I mean. I don't need to rehash what this guy is saying. You can just go and check it and then also check yourselves. Also, he does give sources and shit for whatever he says and, you know, everything like that. So yeah, when I say that the same technology being there for like over 60 years, yeah, that's possible, of course. That's very, very, very plausible. And you shouldn't have to worry too much about that, or about the diversity of the crew, or about what they're talking during dinner and all that.
They control North and South America.
Plus, we also need, as viewers, we also need a little bit of an exposition dump, right? So this is a good time to insert it. So yeah.
Moon, right?
No. Utani has Mars and Saturn.
There's 4 companies. They govern the entire globe.
Don't forget the new one, Prodigy.
Since AI started by a kid maybe 10 years ago.
Boy Cavalier.
Youngest trillionaire ever.
Right.
I love how this younger dude has been working for this company for at least 6.5 decades and knows absolutely shit about it.
He dumb though. He is presented to be very dumb.
We're talking about the Earth, who rules what. The kid hasn't done his social studies.
Also, the old guy has a ton of knowledge that he shouldn't about a company that was founded in the middle of this mission. As was with the first film, it's very clear that everyone on
Yeah, because like them getting updates is unheard of.
board has a specific role.
Not like they can communicate with Earth, right? Am I fucking right?
And I, for one, thoroughly look forward to learning about each one of them individually, which will surely happen. Turns out that this mission was a deep space science expedition, which apparently consisted of gathering a bunch of highly dangerous species and transporting them back to Earth with minimal safety precautions. Species
The minimal safety precautions and all that I'm gonna touch on, but we can do it now as well. And I will say that there is 2 things here. First, the movie has to happen, right? So something must go wrong. Now, Wayland Yutani, being the, well, terrible guys that they are, wouldn't care that much for the safety of the crew, just for the acquisition of the samples. So they don't really care about what happens on the ship as long as it gets to Earth and they get the samples. They don't fucking give a shit.
including deadly bugs, plants, and some very familiar eggs. How the fuck these people found and transported all this shit without cryo-freezing and no one awake to maintain it is not explained, and probably a cooler story that we will never know.
A cooler story that we will never know? Okay.
After finishing breakfast, about 3/4 of
Let me listen to that again, please.
one of them individually, which will surely happen. Turns out that this mission was a deep space science expedition, which apparently could
Science expedition? Nah, just collect stuff. They are not there to do like the heavy lifting in terms of science. They're there to just collect them and study what they can, but the main part is to get them to Earth to be studied properly.
consisted of gathering a bunch of highly dangerous species and transporting them back to Earth with minimal safety precautions. Species including deadly bugs, plants, and some very familiar eggs. How the fuck these people found and transported all this shit without cryo-freezing and no one awake to maintain it is...
I would assume that they are frozen, they are sealed in their containers, but these guys take them out to study them, as we see the lady scientist over there doing right here.
Species
Most of them are still in their containers,
Deadly-
but some they're studying on board already.
bugs, plants, and some very familiar eggs.
So yes, they are contained. The problem didn't come from that. It comes from these specific specimens that were unfrozen and studied.
How the fuck these people found and transported all this shit without cryo-freezing and no one awake to maintain it is not explained, and probably a cooler story that we will never know. After finishing breakfast, about 3/4 of the crew decide to go back into cryo-sleep with only 4 months left before they reach Earth. Which begs the question why the fuck they even woke up to begin with.
To conduct some testing, to check the ship, blah, 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 blah. That's why not everyone wakes up. Only a core crew wakes up every now and then to check, to do things, you know, like that. Run the ship, make sure everything's maintained, then go back to sleep. Simple.
Fuck if I know.
On Earth, we see Prodigy Research Facility Neverland as we join cancer patient Marcy and Timothy Oliphant in his best Billy Idol cosplay. Marcy is scheduled to become the first consciousness to be uploaded into a synthetic body.
I don't know why he would criticize the appearance of the actor in this, but okay.
Is it gonna hurt? Told you, it's just like falling asleep.
There is my guy. That's my favorite guy in the show. Him right there. Right there. This guy right there in the background.
By the way, I'm really not sure what the fuck
This guy. I want to know what this guy is doing and why.
dude is doing, but he shows up again later doing the exact same thing in the same spot. It's actually quite convenient that no one bothered to explain this process to Marcy at any point before this, because now we get to hear it for the first time along with her. Marcy is led into the lab by Dame Sylvia.
It is clearly explained to her. That's why she's asking, is it going to hurt?
And is shown her soon-to-be body, which she decides will be named Wendy. We then meet Boy Cavalier, the owner of Prodigy, the youngest trillionaire in history, and likely a sexual predator based on his Peter Pan obsession.
What? What? Okay, bro. Sure, okay.
Do you want to see a magic trick? It's pretty cool.
I guess lucky she didn't choose Snow White as a name. Explaining to Marcy that she will soon be the first to transition to a synthetic body, we get a sudden sense of dread that it's going to be some of that oh-so-subtle Disney messaging we become accustomed to, instead of the much more philosophical question of what defines a human. As the process of transfer...
What? What? Ah. Okay, alright. Sure, buddy. Okay. That question pops up in the series a lot. It's just not shoved in your face. You, as the viewer, are meant to have this discussion with yourself. The movie, very cleverly, does not force it on you.
begins, Marcy is reminded that
It simply incites it a little bit, provokes it a little bit.
all of this is highly confidential.
And also, yeah, I understand that you could argue that, yes, they are racing for immortality, but no, the way that I interpret it, and remember this is my opinion, of course, is that the race for immortality is for the corporation, as I said, not for the human species. They're not necessarily going to, say, okay, we have the better solution, so you follow us. They just want their corporations to be the best and richest ever and, control everything. So I think that making humanity immortal is not altruistic in this case. That's what I'm arguing. So if we take that into account, I don't think the premise of the movie is really achieving immortality in one of three ways, but more like what are these corporations willing to do to get there? That's what we're seeing. We don't care about the result of the race. We care about what they do in the process and how they're going to try to achieve it, not for the betterment of mankind, but for their own nefarious purposes.
It's a secret. What we're doing.
Man, I'm getting some real weird fucking vibes off of all this secretive shit involving kids.
It's like saying, just to explain how I view this, it's something like, I really can't explain it better than it's not about achieving immortality, it's the product. How will they sell it better than the other guys? Hey there, Neris.
They complete the memory transfer in practically no time at all, and we see the now...
It's not no time at all. We are not shown for how long they've been developing this. We just find them right as they have a prototype for this ready for testing, and they test it, and that's where we watch. We don't need to watch how they got there.
Sentient Wendy on the beach, where she displays enhanced physical capabilities in terms of strength, speed, and stamina. All things that are way more advanced than what we will see from Ash in a couple years, might I add.
Yes, of course, because Ash is just a low-tier synth. Nothing like what we see here. And that technology, I would argue, maybe got lost before the events of Alien. Perhaps. Don't forget, it's secret tech. Nobody knows they exist.
Being summoned by Dame Sylvia for a meeting, they are joined by Billy Idlefint as they both debrief Wendy about her new body.
Your breasts. They're weird. They move around when I run. You are in an adult body now.
What the fuck?
What do you mean, what the fuck? Come on, dude.
Okay, moving on. They also explain that her lack of emotion is due to the fact that she's no longer producing hormones, all while Peter Pansexual creepily watches them.
Dude, what the fuck is this guy? Oh my god.
If I'm not human, what am I?
Whatever you want to be.
Once again, very subtle. Wendy is
What do you mean very subtle? What are you gonna tell a child? Like you have to tell a child something like that to encourage them and to manipulate them, right? That's what these guys are doing.
And informed that they have kidnapped, acquired more terminally ill children for transition. Another incredibly diverse group consisting of a black kid, an Indian, a
What's wrong with the diversity? Why is my guy so fucking wrapped up on that?
Maori, a cripple, and a ginger.
A cripple and a ginger. Oh my god, this is. I don't want to watch anymore. Oh, bro. Let's see how much more fucking bigotry I can take before I fucking stop watching.
Who doesn't have a soul anyway, so she should fit right in with a robot body.
Bubble, you can't say that.
In a quick montage,
Yes, indeed. You can't fucking say that. That's true.
we see them all transition into their adult synth bodies because apparently the mind transfer is about as complicated as heating up a hot pocket in the microwave.
Dude, again, I'll refer to miracle exceptions and to the fact that we see this once it's completed. The fact that you didn't see the process, the arduous work and the years and years and years of research that led to this, right? It's pretty clear that guy is pretty stupid. Yeah, it is pretty stupid. Like, yeah.
Back in space, we see the Maginot approaching Earth. Clearly shit has gone tits up as we witness the ship's android Morrow communicate.
He's not an android, he's a cyborg. This guy's dumb.
With Mother, refusing to let one of the crew members in.
Random brown bitch. Okay, I had enough of you. You are fucking toxic. Yeah, no, this guy should be reported. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I put you through this. That was miserable to watch and I'm not watching more. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. Oh no. Oh no. And you see what I meant in the beginning, like it's so trendy to fucking hate everything, especially based on like diversity and oh it's so woke and just making fun of that for some reason because you're a fucking bigot and you can't cure yourself from stupidity. Oh my god, like both of these guys. At least the first guy we watched had kind of the argument that yes, it is a race for immortality and all that. Even, you know what, even if I'm wrong, which there is no right or wrong, you can interpret it any way you want. If we interpret it the way that the first guy sees it, which is like these corporations are racing to achieve immortality and nothing else, like just altruistically doing that. Even so, what would be so wrong about that? And why did that annoy the first guy that much? Because it's shoved under? Of course it's gonna be shoved under, even if his perspective is actually the director's perspective and the writer's intention. Of course it's shoved under because something goes wrong, because that's why this thing exists. Something goes wrong, and it's fun to watch the consequences and the journey. So even if you don't agree with my view on it, that it's not really a race for immortality, it's just a race to be the biggest, baddest, person on Earth and controlling everything, But even if you don't agree with that, like still, the story works just fine even so, and there is no harm in, losing that part of the plot. Because all we care about is what happens in the process, and in the process, all the shit we see in the series happens. All the mishaps, all the mishandling, all the greed and all that. So it practically doesn't matter if you agree with me how I view it or with the first guy how he views it. It really doesn't matter. And that's the only valid thing that the other guy had to say. And as for this latter guy that we watched, the second guy, holy smokes, dude. It's like, okay, you just found another fucking thing to criticize, and through criticizing it, lots of quotation marks, spew your fucking bigotry. Good job, motherfucker. In fact, you know what I should do? Let me just... 1 second. Like, never fucking suggest this guy to me. How do I do that? Like, please, just... I don't want to watch this guy ever again. How do I fucking do that? I don't even know how to do it. Next time he pops like in my feed, I'm just gonna say like I'm not interested in that or don't show me that stuff. Like for real, this guy's fucking crazy. This guy is fucking wild. Sorry, I had to put you through 10-15 minutes of his toxic garbage. Yeah, and he clearly also doesn't give a fuck about the plot. It's very clear when he calls like Morrow an android when he's a cyborg. He's trying to say, oh yeah, he's like Ash. No, he's not. Not in any capacity. So yeah. And later on you find out exactly what his deal is, and it has nothing to do with how Ash is. Similar, but not similar enough to be accused of like, oh yeah, it's just ripping off Ash or something, you know, the android from the first one. Oh my god. That's sad because we're 1 hour in and all we've had is like stupid takes and bigotry. Nice. As for the first guy, I'm not gonna like, I'm not attacking him personally, obviously, but his review fucking sucked. And his take was a huge L, sorry. Second guy we watched? Hell yeah, I'm attacking that guy personally. That guy is a fucking bigot, I'm sorry. So give me a sec. I'll try to find another review that is actually honest a little bit. Not necessarily positive, but like an honest one. It's not like I know which one to pick because I haven't like looked into it. I just found two random ones and I thought maybe they would be fucking interesting to watch, right? Turns out, no, they're not. So let me see. Oh god, maybe something in my feed is going to be a review. Oh no, there is also critical drinkers. There is also critical drinkers take. Let me guess, it's gonna be like, of course, in this man, like his stupid fucking voice that he does. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna even click on that. Like, I'm just gonna be like, let me just say, don't recommend this channel to me, please. Yeah, fuck you. I don't want to see anything from that guy. Fuck that guy. It's gonna be like, of course we have this, and they're all LGBT, and like this stupid voice that he does. I hope that's not his actual voice. I'm really sorry if it is. It's kind of like cringy. Sorry. Um. So. So. Let me see. What if xenomorphs invaded 40k? Yeah, no, they'd get fucking destroyed. Like, absolutely fucking destroyed, obliterated within seconds of existing. Have you heard of Tyrannies, my guy? Have you heard of fucking Tyrannies, my guy? Yeah. 1 hour video on what would happen if xenomorphs, like, invaded 40k. Sure, they would fucking get absolutely fucking demolished by every single faction ever. So, yeah. Still. I'm still scrolling. I'm still trying to find. There is single episode. There is single episode takes. They're all extremely negative, which also goes to show that whatever the first guy was saying, that it's like, oh, suspiciously positive reviews. No, that is suspiciously negative reviews. Because every one I've clicked so far is like full of stupidity and bigotry. Which is not unexpected, I have to say, sadly. It is not unexpected. Scrolling even further. Maybe I should search. Dare I do that? Oh no. Mr. H, of course. Some really dumb scientists. Uh, 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 Nerdrotic as well. Oh my god. You know what? Just can I just click don't recommend these channels, please? I don't want them. Why Alien Earth sucks? But that's 4 weeks ago. Fuck that. Alien Earth review. The crew are insanely stupid. Have you considered this might be on purpose as well? So maybe we can talk about that a little bit, right? Maybe we talk about that a little bit and I leave it there. We're gonna need some music for that. Let's see. Like my take on why the crew is stupid. That would be interesting. Let me go on YouTube, find a nice playlist, and we can talk about that at least, and then fuck the fuck off because, yeah, there is nothing creative here. Let's see. Yeah. What's this? Let's see. There we go. Awesome. You should be able to barely hear this. That's the purpose. Okay, so why are these scientists so stupid, right? Why do they do all these mistakes and all that? So here's my take on that. Why there are further questions to this. Like first, why would you expect that they would send their best? They would send expendable people. They would send. They would also be. There would also be a huge variety, a huge a plethora of people they can send who are literal no lives. Who's gonna accept a mission like that? Think about it. Who's gonna accept a mission like that? I don't think anybody self-respecting would, which is why you end up with crews like what you see. People who are kind of dumb, people who are too curious for their own good, people who, well, get outsmarted by the specimens. Also, plot must happen, right? So that begs the question of how far does it push your suspension of disbelief when it comes to why the plot happens, why shit happens on the Maginot, right? Well, I will tell you that first of all, a high profile mission would draw a lot of attention. This one already does. I mean, you know, the boy Wonder from Prodigy already noticed it, already infiltrated it, as we learn in one of the recent episodes, I believe 6 or 7, right? Imagine a higher profile mission with like well-paid, high-tier scientists, blah blah blah, properly manned, properly trained, properly equipped, and all that shit. Then you also have to take greed into account. Why would Weyland Yutani send their best ship? They're trying to do this very, very discreetly and very, very legally. And so, yeah, who do you think is gonna sign up for these missions? Dumb fucks. That's who's gonna do that. Okay. And it's a recipe that Weyland Yutani seems to be very fond of, as we see in Alien 1 as well. Yeah. Alien Resurrection, though, that's a proper scientific vessel and all that. Though, of course, that also goes wrong. Because that was a horrible movie, by the way. That was a horrible movie. But yeah, that too goes wrong, but they were far more prepared and all that. That time around, let's say. They were also very well prepared in Alien 3. At the end, we see Weyland Yutani sending far better equipped personnel and all that to recover Ripley and the Queen she's carrying. That fails though because she decides to take the high road and, you know, sacrifice herself so that Wayland doesn't get the sample they want, doesn't have their way. I think they also tell Ripley that they have a process to extract the xenomorph safely, and that she would be compensated, some shit like that. I don't even remember. It's way back when that I watched it. But yeah, they were far better equipped and far better prepared at that point. I guess they decided that they can't have their specimen otherwise. So yeah, if you feel like it's the scientists are too stupid and this and that, I would say you wouldn't need to suspend your disbelief too hard. You wouldn't need to headcanon it too hard. You just need to read between the lines a little bit and you have all the lore you need about it. Also, let's not forget that a lot of what happens is due to sabotage as well. So there is that factor. I mean, take Tang or Kang, I don't remember what his name is, the bald Asian person, right? He is literally everything you need to know about the kind of personnel and how expendable they are and how replaceable they are, that goes on these missions and accepts these contracts. You need to look no further than that fucking pervert, or further than the helper of the chief engineer, that dumb kid. Like, that kid is so fucked. Legitimately, he's so fucked. So yeah, as you can see, they don't even the science officer, right? Even the science officer, he is clearly like overwhelmed by everything that he sees. He even takes some rash decisions when it comes to like operating on that person and all that shit. Ash, for example, who was the science officer in the Nostromo, his approach is far more measured, and perhaps you could say even that that's why they made sure that the science officer is the android infiltrator, quote unquote, in Alien 1 and not somebody else. So, yeah, there is a lot you could do to justify why the crew is quote unquote acting stupid. So, yeah. I think also for that, like the black lady, the scientist, I think that when it comes to her and how the tick escaped, yeah, she's shown to be careless and absolutely irresponsible. And you would expect nothing less from the dreads that they contract to go on these missions. Again, these aren't high-profile missions. For all we know, Wayland Yutani just told them, hey, go there, smuggle in some insects, grab some stuff that you see, don't bother too much, put them in container, bring them back. Simple. You know, I'm sure it came with, don't worry, it's absolutely safe. Maybe they even told them something like, don't mess with the specimens, just bring them back. And then, you know, that science lady just got way too curious for her own good. Because if you notice her approach to the whole thing, it's very negligent. It's like, oh, maybe I can win some kind of prize if I fucking research this before we deliver it, you know? Maybe I can sell this research to someone else. And so she haphazardly tries to go at it and she becomes careless. It's like, yeah, you know, what can they even do? They're just bugs, right? Put them in a container, what the fuck? Even if they escape, how bad could it be? And then we find out how bad it can be. So yeah, easy. Also, we are not even shown that they themselves retrieve the species. That could be, for example, handled by some kind of mercenary group. And maybe they gave these guys the specimens to transfer them back to Earth. It's not necessary that these guys are the ones who got the specimens. We are also told that there are other people on the ship, on Maginot, which we never see, because they are always in cryo, because they're not like key personnel, right? Maybe those other guys are the people responsible for capturing the specimens. Maybe these guys are better equipped, for example, and all that. Anyway, there's lots you can do. There's lots you can say in your head. It's not straining, it's not stretching it to say these things. So that's why I'm not annoyed by the stupidity of the crew, let's say. But for me, the main reason is literally that they are hired on purpose to not ask questions, to not meddle, to not interfere, to not question too much, and just do their fucking job at a basic level so that Will and Yutani can get what they want. That's my take on it. Power outlet at airport secured. Nice. So that's what I think happened when it comes to, oh my god, what a plot hole. The crew is so stupid. They're the equivalent of like dock workers. They're the equivalent of like I'm pretty sure that officer, that science officer, is kind of some kind of reject from like some medical school or something, like legitimately. If they're hiring perverts and incompetents and dumb fucks like the engineer's helper, that tells you fucking that speaks volumes. So yeah, the only one who has his wits about him is unsurprisingly Morrow. And that may have been on purpose as well. As in, Well and Yutani is mostly basing on him containing any possible situations and making all the right decisions. And guess what? He does. Which checks out more with my theory that the rest are there to be basically monkeys. Legitimately, just filling positions that need filling, doing the things that need doing, and nothing else. On a basic level. I generally see no problem with any of this, especially if you add into the mix a little bit of, well, it needs to happen. So yeah, but that, like if it was just that alone, that would have been horrible. If it was just it happened because it needed to, because then the movie needs to happen, the series needs to happen, that would have been horrible. But if that is part, like if that is like 20% of it, then that's okay. If the rest 80% can be explained, which it can, without like literally doing mental gymnastics, then yeah. And if you feel that it's mental gymnastics to assume the things that I assumed, for example, right now, maybe your perception of the term mental gymnastics is a little bit too wide, I'd say. For me, it was like, I just watched it and I immediately knew that, yeah, these guys, they're meant to be incompetent. That's on purpose. That's like literally how Well and Yutani would fucking operate in these conditions, honestly. Besides, don't forget that like as long as Morrow is alive and in control of the situation, nobody cares what happens to the crew. Nobody cares what happens to the ship. The ship is a fucking derelict already. It's fucking old and all that crap. The crew is expendable. That much is very clear. So that checks out with my theory. All they want is the ship delivered, one way or the other. Crashing or not crashing, they don't give a fuck. How many people die, they don't give a fuck how many did. Nothing. Just retrieving the samples is all that matters. Getting them to Earth, somehow. Plus, I'm pretty sure they weren't expecting sabotage. So yeah. To some degree they might have. Hence Morrow, again. And it happened. So you're seeing a worst case scenario situation right there. Which checks out, because I mean, every alien movie is a worst case scenario. It is meant to be a horror movie where things go literally, very, very bad. So I don't understand why people have such difficulty assuming that stupid people exist and are taken advantage of and are sent on like extremely high-risk missions where everyone is expendable except the objectives. So, yeah, I don't fucking know, dude. It doesn't bother me that much. It really doesn't bother me that much. I think it falls into the category of like, oh my god, that guy's so stupid. How could he not see A and B and C? Their job is to not see A, B, and C, just to exist and function. So yeah. Morrow doesn't even really care, even if he knows. That's just another example. He doesn't care about Tang's perversion, pervert urges and all that. He doesn't care about the crew. He doesn't care how bad these people are or what they've done, if they're criminals, if they're like low-lives, dredges or whatnot. All he cares is the mission. When it comes to pulling strings to get Tang to actually confess something, yeah, he does say, I've noticed you, you do X and Y and Z. While the other girl is sleeping in cryo, you're just jerking off, towering above her, just jerking off on her cryopod. I've seen you do that, yet he did nothing to stop it. He never even cared. He only brought it up because it would give him leverage against Tang and maybe push him to confess. Fight me on it. Prove me fucking wrong, bitch. Prove me wrong. Show me any evidence that this crew is meant to be top-tier scientists. Show me any evidence that this is a high-profile, high-cost mission. It's not. It's not supposed to be. More particularly, more specifically, it's supposed to appear as a regular-ass fucking mission. Maybe some, geological, specimen recovery, something like that. Maybe just cargo, maybe just minerals, maybe something like that, So, yeah. That's my take on why the crew is stupid. I'll give you one thing, and one thing only. It was very, very reckless how the containment of the ticks was handled, right? Because that thing just literally slipped a finger and then it was free. So that one, yeah, I mean, that one bit, I will say, was a little bit stretching it. That was a little bit stretching it. Her failing to secure the eyeballs container, that's not stretching it. See, considering what was happening in that scene, okay, I can see that happening, especially from somebody, again, who is probably like a fucking dredge, and not particularly smart either. I mean, all she did was literally look at the specimens and feed them, and be infatuated by how they feed. That's all she did. Like, she's not even able to conduct any actual research. She's just watching them, and just pondering, like, oh my god, yes, alien life. To her, it's like she found some kind of strange cat, and she's like, okay, maybe I can take advantage of this. I'm also very curious, so let me just observe them. So yeah, it's not like she's doing any actual research. And I'm gonna take it a bit further and say that perhaps she shouldn't even be doing that. Perhaps that's not even what she was supposed to do. Also, again, the other specimens are still secured fine. It's the ones that either escaped through sabotage or she took with her to study, quote-unquote, that endangered the mission, not the majority of the specimens in the cargo hold. For example, we didn't see the flies escaping, right? The acid-spitting flies, those didn't escape, for example, because they were not removed. That lady only removed the eyeball, the ticks, I think, that's it. Perhaps she saw them and thought, yeah, maybe they look harmless enough. I mean, to be fair, yes, the eyeball is kind of creepy, but it does look like an octopus with an eyeball. I could see someone going like, that's interesting, I'm gonna take it in my office and like see what it does in its container. and then fucking up, and the ticks as well. They don't look that bad unless you see, you know, what they can do later, which she doesn't even imagine. I will assume. So yeah, that's my wild take on the whole thing. I don't know. Could be wrong, could be right, but it's definitely not a stretch of the imagination to think that they are legitimately meant to be stupid. For all we know, hear me out on this one. For all we know, if the mission was to go as planned, maybe these guys would all be killed. Because why would Wayland Yutani want them alive? That would be a fucking liability considering the mission. That would be a huge liability. So yeah, I think they were absolutely expendable, and as such, not really the smartest people ever. So yeah, and again, it checks out if you consider like the types of characters that we see. Anyways, that's my whole take on the whole thing. I'm sorry I didn't, didn't. Honestly, just couldn't. Watch those reviews. They were unbearable to me. The first one, not so much. The first one, fine. The second one, oof. No, you'd have to, like, nah. You could pay me and I wouldn't keep watching it. I found it offensive. So yeah. I guess that concludes our Saturday stream. And God, why are people dumb? Also, this is another interesting point, right? Why is it so hard to believe that dumb people exist in the future? I mean, come on now. Come on now. So much proof that stupidity is a real thing. As we are already even. But yeah. No, really, the only point of contention I can see is that, yeah, Daphne, you are wrong, you could say. It is supposed to be a race for immortality. Okay, maybe it's altruistic. Maybe you're right, and these corporations are angelic beings, right? Whatever. The plot still stands, even so. So yeah. But for me, it's like, I don't believe for a second that they care for the actual immortality. I think they care how they can market it and all that. Another product to sell. That's the only purpose. I don't think they think twice about that shit. So yeah. Ah well. See it this way. That race is not central. It's not pivotal to what's happening, to what we see happening. It takes a back seat because things go, really bad. And so that premise is kind of like there to tell you that's why the whole thing started. Even if you believe it's altruistic, even if you believe it's not altruistic, it really doesn't matter. We don't care to see corporations achieving immortality. What we care is what happens with the creatures and all that. That's the story. It's not, the show is not called How Wayland Yutani Managed to Achieve Immortality. The show is called, Alien Earth. And that's exactly what it does. So yeah. It's just part of the premise. Like, yeah, they would like to find a way perhaps to sell it. Even though, again, another evidence against it is that you can't sell immortality by selling synths, right? Because those are not people in any capacity, if you get my meaning. It's not like a synth is just like AI, that's all. So what does that have to do with like selling people immortality? Nothing. Therefore, How is that the actual premise? It's not. I think that line in the beginning is just there to tell you. I mean, even again, like I'll even point to further evidence. The guy who runs Prodigy, right? The boy wonder, as everyone calls him. He also doesn't care to achieve immortality. He doesn't care to sell that hybrid body. That's completely secondary. All he cares for is to find a mind that will fascinate him, you know? Something that will surpass him. Not in how long he's going to live, but like in mental capacity, you know? The only company I'd say who seems to be closer to that premise of like achieving immortality to sell it would be the company that that not produces but does the whole cyborg thing where they replace parts in humans. You could argue that they may be trying to replace everything in the end, you know, but then again, they are one-upped by the hybrids already, so yeah. That's why I'm insisting that that is just there. It's not the main story of it is not how these three companies are vying to achieve immortality first. Not at all. That's why I'm arguing that point so strongly. I just don't fucking see it, you know? To me, it's more like to me that line is more there to add some variety to the show, so that not everyone is synths and humans. It's to tell you that there is more, you know, because Alien Earth as a whole is there to tell you that there is more. It shows you there is more alien creatures. It shows you that there is more than just synths and humans. So I think that line is there to justify the separation and existence of different kinds of quote-unquote species, even among humans. That's my take on it. It's never implied that the whole show revolves around the competition of the three companies in achieving immortality and dominating the market in selling that immortality. It's in the background. It's like that has led to maybe this mission that we see with the Maginot. That is there to excuse trying to get the specimens. That is there to excuse other things, you know. It doesn't even excuse, the hybrids. Because again, my guy with you know, is just trying to create a being artificially that will rival his intellect. That's all he's doing. I don't remember him going like, oh, what I'm interested in is achieving immortality for the human species. I think that's totally like, obviously he has in mind like selling that tech if it works, maybe, but I don't remember any prominent dialogue where he says that's my main goal, is to create these artificial beings and then sell the technology. In fact, he very pointedly says like, all I care for is like to see if I can create something that outsmarts its creator. Anyway, feel free to debate me on that one. It's interesting. But yeah, I see the only point of contention is that, I guess, I don't know. The crew being stupid, easy to explain, easy to headcanon, easy to lower out. Also checks out with various other facts here and there. As I pointed out, maybe I'm missing even more clear evidence that this is the case. But yeah. Even the captain, who that fucking bigot called a random brown lady, holy fucking shit. Even the captain is absolutely and utterly incompetent, and it's clear that she's just there to steer the fucking ship. That's all she does. I would argue the most intelligent among them is either Moro or Tang. So yeah, I think Moro may not be the most intelligent, but he is definitely pragmatic and quick with his, quick with his wits and quick with his decision making, and he's very driven and loyal. But does that make him intelligent? I think only Tang was the most intelligent, and that's a low bar right there. So yeah. So basically the issue would be, why is the mission not that well equipped? Well, because it doesn't need to be. It's just a delivery mission, and it has to be stealthy and not draw attention. And why they hired idiots? Well, yeah, same reasons more or less. Anyway, I think I actually explained my thinking about this. I don't think I need to say any more. I'd be repeating myself, which I already did, to be fair. But hey, I gotta fill my quota. You know? Okay. Let's see. What can I do for you right here? I can... Sorry, I booped the microphone. I hope you didn't hear that. Let's see. What can we do? We can do this, for example. Hi, microphone. Hi, though. How are you doing? Again, I hope you're doing fine. I hope your Saturday is treating you well. Sorry, I'm just turning to see chat over there. Cute? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think I'm cute, but whatever. But thanks. But yeah, okay. So, is the camera angle okay? It's struggling with the light, isn't it? A little bit. I don't know. I'm struggling with myself, like, you know. And sorry, again, I have to turn there to see myself on OBS. But, and to read chat, of course. But hey, okay. Whatever. Let me just do something here. Alright. I hope you have an awesome Saturday. And thanks for watching, I guess. And all that shit. God, this camera angle is shit, dude. What is this fucking camera angle? I'm not comfortable. It's very weird. Isn't it? Sorry. Is this better? I don't know. It's a weird angle, honestly. I'll fix it. It's just that I have this thing that I put my screen on to bring my screen a bit higher because I had to look down a little bit. Now I'm looking like there, so that's good. But I had to move the camera, like just increase its height a little bit, and that's why this is like what you see. But yeah, that's it. What else do you want? I kinda want to, you know what I'd like to do, and I might do it now because I want to see. I'm just fucking curious. I'm just fucking curious. First of all, 1 second. This is not gonna work. Wait. 1 second. Maybe I can improve it if I just. Oh, for fuck's sake! 1 second, guys. Maybe there? Maybe that's... Ah, no. It has to be a bit higher. Wait, does it? Wait. What about here? Like, just like this. Okay, let's try again. Okay. Camera attempt number 2. Hey, I think that's better, right? And I mean, you can even see like a bit of my underwear, but you shouldn't be able to see that. Not that I mind. Just, yeah, there you go. Some meat here and there. And I don't know. Do I like that? Wait, let me see. Of course, it's a bit washed because There's way too much light coming from that way, so it kind of, you know, if I do that, no, it's okay, I think, right? You can see my chubbiness right here. You can see my bed hair. I think you can see everything. One sec. Better. There. What happens if I just increase it right there? And just, yeah. Okay, so now I can see myself better, and so can you. But, I know. 1 second. Ah. I see. God, I look tired. But that makes sense, because I am. We hardly slept any. Also, what the fuck is like wrong with this? It's, for some reason, it's angled this way. Shouldn't it be like here, normally? Whatever. Yeah. Alright, I can't see myself anymore, okay? This fucking sucks. This camera experience fucking sucks, okay? And my god, I need to fucking brush. I need to brush this shit. I'll go brush. I don't care. You had enough of me, I'm pretty sure anyways, so yeah. You're Gucci. Man, I fucking hate the camera. And I have to get used to it again. How the fuck am I gonna get used to that shit? Let me turn it on again. I don't know how I'm gonna get used to it for real. I'm gonna try though. Yeah, let's you know what? Let's just spend a few minutes like this, right? We don't have to do anything other than correcting this a little bit. There we go. We don't have to do anything other than sitting here and looking at each other intently. But no, for real. I don't know. I can't get used to it. It's weird. Oop, there we go. Is that better? Is it better if I'm like lower? I just lowered my chair a bit. Is it better? Is it catching all my good angles? I don't fucking know. I don't even know what I'm doing. All I know is that like yeah. I want to go and have a nice Saturday, and probably so do you, to be honest. What are you gonna do today? What are you doing today? Let me fix that too. Come on, you piece of shit. There we go. Much better. It's like... What do you have to say about that? There. Okay, it's more out of the way now. Traveling, yeah, of course. I'll just be here. I'll just be here. Gaming, I guess. Spending my time. Missing you, Neris. Setting your PC. Yeah, that would be great. That would be very good. You know, since I'm doing this, there's no reason not to do this. I can do that. So I can look straight there and also see chat. If I just bring chat here. Oop, there we go. Oh, nice. Oops, there go gravity. Man, I don't know. I don't know how you think I'm cute, by the way. Like, to me... I don't know, dude. It's like I need to wear a different shirt at one point, but this has become my favorite streaming shirt at this point. I don't know why, but I need to change it. Wait, I'll change it now. I'll actually go and change it now. You're about to see my third form. Let me just change a few things around and I'll be right there. Okay, let's see this one. How do I feel about this one? Why is this so fluffy back here? It's too fluffy for my taste. Actually, no, what if it was fluffier? That's the question. Okay, but yeah, I feel this shirt more. This top is better, I feel like. Look at it. Huh? It's better. But yeah, it's also too similar. I don't know, listen, I'm just goofing around, okay? I'm just trying to get used to you guys seeing me. Another problem would be that now the camera is just a bit there and not here. So you probably often see me with my eyes like looking a little bit like angled down, which not ideal. I have to make an effort to consciously talk into the camera. Nah, not today, she said. Not today. Not today. You had enough. You still think I'm cute, Neris? I should hope so. I should hope so. Yes. Oh, what a resounding yes. Okay, I'll take your word for it. I'll believe it, okay. The cutest? Oh, that would be you. You silly thing. Alright, enough. Enough. I say enough. I hope you all have an amazing Saturday. I'll see you on Monday and then Tuesday. I've got Dead Space to figure out how to make it not stutter for some reason. Then I gotta do the same with Andromeda, and then I have to finish both of them. And hopefully by that time, Neris and I will be finished with Skyrim. Modding it, and then I can stream that for an infinite amount of time, hopefully. For now, though, I'm gonna go have another smoke and chill by myself. Maybe some Guild Wars, maybe something like that, I don't know. I'm in the mood for various things that will distract me. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, I hope you had some fun. I did, for sure. Yeah. I was hoping for a bit of a longer stream or more consistent, like maybe watching one video to the end and criticizing, but no such luck. Ah well, at least you got some camera time in the end. That's reward on its own when it comes to me. Maybe I should like just... What the fuck? Oh right, yeah, I covered my camera already. I was gonna like just blow some kisses into the camera. And yeah, I somehow forgot I already covered it.